Hey guys! So today I've decided to do the love tag. Christine has actually done this on our channel like a year ago or something, I don't know, ages ago. But you know, I thought it was really well, I haven't watched hers in like forever, but I remember thinking that's a really interesting like tag video, so I was like, I'm gonna do that. But I never did, so I decided I'm gonna do it now. So yeah, so I'm going to just get started with that. Question 1. Love to me is ... To me it's like, I don't know, like it's kind of having that person who you're able to completely be yourself around. Like, you don't have to pretend to be someone you're not, and you don't have to act like a certain way. You just, you know, it's just an automatic thing to just be yourself, and you don't feel like they're gonna judge you, or you don't feel awkward or embarrassed to like be yourself. You know, you know that they're like, they love you for who you are, and you don't feel like, you just feel happy, you feel comfortable with them, and you know, it's it's a good feeling, like not having to act a different way to how you would normally act, you know. It's really nice. And I suppose it's being able to trust them, and just, you know, having someone who you feel comfortable talking to about anything and everything, you know, spilling your deepest secrets and your fears, and just telling them anything you want them to know, and knowing that they're going to trust, that they trust you and you trust them, and knowing that they're not going to say it to anyone else if you don't want them to. Just like feeling comfortable enough to let them know who you are, and just I don't know, just let them see the real you, and not have that fear that they're gonna run from you, or they're gonna suddenly hate you, or anything like that, or judge you. It's just like, you're just yourself, and that's okay, because you love them, and you know they love you. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a boyfriend or a girlfriend or husband or wife or whatever. Like, it's the same with like friends or like family, you know. Like, the word soulmate, okay, I know this is really random, but I read a book, I'll just get it actually, this book, Jesus, I read this book, like I just finished it yesterday, I think. It's called Soulmates, as you can see, and it's by Holly Byrne. I thought it was a really good book. It was definitely interesting, because it made me think about like the word soulmates and what it means to people. Like, in that book, soulmates is described as like two people who are the perfect match for each other, like being in love and the perfect match. And in that book, it's like a rare thing. Like, they talk about how people think they've fallen in love with someone, and maybe they have, but it's more their hormones. It's not actually like that person is their perfect match. It's just, basically, in that book, it's a rare thing for two people to actually be soulmates. And it just got me thinking about soulmates, you know. Like, some people think, like, in, you know, obviously that author does, but some people think that like soulmates is like two people who are in love and perfectly matched, like, and perfect like couple and stuff. But to me, it's not exactly that way. Like, I think a best friend, or I don't know, someone in your family or any friend or whatever, I think they could also be your soulmate. Like, I think a soulmate is like a person who knows everything about you and still loves you, and it's that one person you're yourself around, and you can't imagine your life without that one person. So, you know, I wouldn't, I don't know, I just don't think it has to always be about love between like it doesn't always have to be romantic love, you know. So yeah. I don't know, that's basically what love is to me. Like, just, you know, being there for someone and caring about them, and, you know, their happiness means a lot to you, and knowing that, you know, they're going to be there for you and you're going to be there for them, and, you know, just like, if it is in a relationship and you're thinking long term, just making sure that they know who you are, and you know, not being someone else, because you don't want them to like fall in love with okay, the doorbell is ringing. I shall be back. So sorry about that. Someone was just delivering a package from my mum. That's really embarrassing. Anyway, now I'm all, can't remember what I was last saying, but yeah, romantic love. If you're thinking long term when it comes to a relationship, I think it's important to be who you are, so that the person you're with doesn't fall in love with the fake you. Like, they don't fall in love with the person who you're pretending to be. So I think it's important that you're always yourself, especially in a relationship, but all the time really. Like, fuck whatever people think, you know. Just like, if people don't like the real you, then that's their loss, you know. You have to just try to forget, you know, try to ignore what people think. And I probably sound like such a hypocrite, 'cause I try to not care what people think, but I do. Like, just, it's hard not to, but you know, I'd say it's a lot easier, and it's easier to be happy, you know, if you don't care what people think. So just try. You know. Question 2, do you believe love exists? Obviously. It's like, how can people not think that? I mean, some people don't believe in like true love or whatever. I do. I'm a hopeless romantic, but yeah, so it just, of course, it exists. Like, you can't say it doesn't, you know. Question 3, describe what you think love is. This is basically the same as the first question, but anyway, you know, there's all like different kinds of love, I guess. Like, you know, love between family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, pet, you know, fictional characters, celebrities. I'm a fangirl, so I have a lot of loves when it comes to celebrities and fictional characters. But yeah, so, you know, it's a more, when you hear the word love, most people immediately think of like love, like romantic love, and that's not the case. Like, it's not just about romantic love, it's about like all the ones I've said, you know. It's just I don't know, it's like all of them have similarities. Like, obviously the love you feel for your family is going to be different to the love you feel for like a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, but all the different kinds of love do have similarities. Like, it's all about caring so much for someone, and you know, their happiness means an awful lot to you, and just wanting them to always be okay, and worrying about them if they're not, and being there for them if they need you, or you know, just wanting them to always be safe and happy, and wanting them, like, just, you want them to know that you are there for them and that you love them, and you don't want them to ever feel like you don't. So just like, you know, life is short. I think we should all take more time to just tell the people in our lives that we love them and how much we appreciate them, because you never know what's going to happen. Like, it's depressing to think that they're not always going to be there, but you don't actually know what's going to happen. Like, just one day they could be gone, and like some, you know, there could be an accident or something even, you know, less serious, like just that you have a fight and suddenly they leave your life or whatever, or like a breakup, and just suddenly like they're not there anymore. So while they are in your life, you should take a bit of time to just tell them that you love them and you know they mean so much to you, because it's sad when like someone's gone and you wish you could have told them like how much they mean to you, and you've lost that chance. Like, I have lost a lot of people this year, like not to death or anything, but a lot of people have been lost, like have left my life or whatever. Some of them I don't actually miss. I know that's kind of mean, but it's the truth. Whereas others I do miss. Not even like, I just miss like having them there to talk to, and just miss seeing their face, or just, you know, just miss being there with them, you know. So as I said, like the people in your life now, if you don't want to lose them, you know, take a bit of time to tell them you appreciate them and that you don't want to ever lose them and stuff, because it could change things. It could make them actually realise how much you care, and maybe they hadn't realised it before. So, you know, just take a bit of time to do that. Yeah, I also think with love, like the similarity things between all different types of love. Another thing is that they don't judge you, or, you know, if if you make a mistake or whatever, they're gonna be there to help you get through it, and they like, love is when you feel like you're not alone, like whether it's your friends or your family or boyfriend, girlfriend, or whoever, even your pets. It's making sure that the people you love aren't alone, they don't feel alone, and it has to be like a mutual thing. Like, they have to also make you feel like you're not alone, and they have to be there for you and you have to be there for them. Like, it can't be a one-sided thing, because it just doesn't work that way. That's how people leave, you know, other people's lives or whatever. It's just, it has to be both sides making an effort, you know. Which unfortunately doesn't always happen, and it can ruin things, but you know, you have to make sure that it doesn't. if someone means a lot to you, then you have to make sure that you're making an effort, and if they're not, then you have to say to them, and hopefully if they do care as much as you care about them, then they will change and they will make an effort. So yeah, that's basically what love is to me, what I would describe love as. Like, just, you know, knowing someone, I guess, and knowing their flaws even, and their mistakes and their faults, and anything bad they've done maybe in the past, if they're willing to open up to you with that, and still loving them, like not judging them, you know, still wanting them to be there for, like, with you and stuff. Question 4. Have you ever been in love? I think so. I would say yes, but I don't know. Like, it's hard to know if you've been in love. It's hard to know if it's just, like, a lot of people think they've been in love, but really they might not have been. And I'm kind of like that too. Like, I feel like I have, like, when I think back about the feelings I felt with this person, I feel like they just meant everything to me, and I would have done anything for them, which I know I didn't prove at the time. And that's one of the things, like I said earlier, like, you do regret not telling them how much you appreciate them and how much you love them, and then they're gone, and you just, like, you wish you would, like, prove to them that they meant so much to you. I feel like I'm gonna cry, sorry. Oh god, okay, I'm not gonna cry, no. But yeah, so I would say yes to that question. I lost that person, and we're not exactly, like, we don't hate each other or anything. We're actually, I think we're friends. I'd like to say we're friends, though we don't see each other, but, like, we don't hate each other either. So yeah, but he just was everything to me, and you know, I feel awkward saying this, because I have a new boyfriend now, and I really like him, and yeah, but hopefully I fall in love with him now and he falls in love with me, so you know, we'll see what happens. We're only together like just over a month, so we'll see what happens. But yes, I have been in love in the past and I lost it, and it was the most heartbreaking thing ever, and it was the most painful thing I've ever experienced, and I don't ever want to experience that again. So yeah, but you know, it's when you're in love and you're happy together, it's such a great feeling. Like, you just I don't know, you just feel like, I mean, I went through a rough stage in my life and I'm still not fully over it really, but started the start of this year, so that's like almost 12 months ago, I just started to realise how low I feel, and I just went through a really tough stage in my life, and the person who I was in love with was the first person I told, and one of the few people, I think it's only like 2 people in my life who actually know about this low stage I went through, but he was the first who I told, and he was there for me, and it meant so much to me. Like, he made me feel like I thought when I told him that he would run for the hills basically, and he didn't, so that meant a lot. But that's in the past now. I'm not in love with that person anymore. Yeah, so yeah, I don't even know what else to say. I kind of feel awkward that I said all that, but I had to answer the question. But no, my new boyfriend, Jared, I'm not in love with him, but maybe I will be, you know, if we're together for a long time and we make each other happy and stuff. Maybe I will fall in love with him, and maybe he'll fall in love with me, and I'm not gonna say that we will because I don't know. I have no idea. But you just never know what's gonna happen. You never know, like, how you're gonna feel about someone. Like, Jared has been in my life since last April, and I always loved him as a friend until like 2 or 3 months ago when I realised, wow, I really like this guy. Like, it's so weird. You could be friends with someone for so long and never think anything of, like, you could only see them as a friend, and suddenly out of nowhere you develop these feelings, and it's just so weird. Like, love is the weirdest thing ever. Like, it's so hard to explain really. Anyway, question 5. What's the difference between being in love and just having a crush? Well, I think a crush is more temporary. Like, I'm not saying being in love is permanent, because, you know, you're able to fall out of love, but it's definitely more permanent than, like, it's definitely less temporary than a crush. A crush can last like a fucking week, whereas if you're in love with someone, it's not going to last a week, it's going to last much longer than that. And it could take an awful long time to fall out of love, whereas a crush can disappear in a second, really. Like, a crush can be when you're just physically attracted to someone, like, you just think, oh my god, he or she is an absolute babe, and oh my god, I want them. But that's not love, it's just a crush, especially if you've never spoken to the person. Like, I don't believe this isn't actually a question, I'm surprised this isn't on the love tag, but I don't believe in love at first sight. I think it's a load of shit, to be honest. It's just, how can you fall in love with someone you've never even spoken to? Like, you can't. You need to know who they are. You can't just see someone and automatically fall in love with them. Like, that, I don't get that. It's so stupid. So I don't believe in love at first sight. I think it's stupid and retarded, and I just think I need to know somebody to be in love with them. And I don't know, like, the difference, like, a crush, as I said, it can just be a physical attraction, or even if you have actually talked to them and you do like them for who they are, it's like, it's not, you know, being in love is when you would give everything you have for them. Like, their happiness, you know, often means more to you than your own does. And as cheesy as it might sound, it's when, like, love songs and stuff start to actually make sense. Like, you feel you can actually start relating to them more, because, you know, you hear a song and you think of that person who you're in love with, and you feel like those words were written about you and that person, you know? It's just so weird. And a crush, it's just not really the same. It's just not as strong. Like, I don't know. Like, I've had many crushes in my life, and like I feel like I've been in love. So if I compared those two, like, I can seriously tell the difference. Like, a crush, I would never feel like, if you have a crush on someone and they like someone else, for example, obviously it's gonna hurt. But if you're in love with someone and they love someone else, that's when it is like the most heartbreaking thing ever. Like, it kills you, you know? It's just so much more painful. Like, whereas a crush isn't really as much. So yeah. Question 6. What's your love language? So that's like gifts, touch, words, acts of service, and quality. Not gifts anyway, like, that's a load of shit. Acts of service definitely, and like quality time. You know, you need to, if you love someone, you need to spend time with them. You need them to be in your presence, and so you can just do whatever and just be happy together. Even if it's doing nothing, even if you're just sitting beside them doing absolutely nothing, you can still feel happy just knowing they're beside you and just having them there in your presence, because you love them that much. And you know, it's important to spend time together, especially in a relationship. Like, you need to actually both make an effort to want to see each other. Otherwise, what's the point in being together? Like, what's the point? Yeah, and just touch is kind of important for me as well, because I'm a very affectionate person. Like, I need kisses and cuddles and hugs and everything. Like, I crave it, really. It makes me feel like real loved, and my heart just melts. Like, you know, if you're just sitting like on a sofa or something with someone, and they just put your arm, they just put their arm around you and like cuddle and stuff, it just feel this like rush of happiness. And it just, whether it's with anyone, like it could be a friend or boyfriend or whatever, like, it's just, it feels good, and I just crave like affection and stuff. And you know, words, I suppose, words are important to me, but definitely not as much as they used to be, because I have serious trust issues, and people have told me stuff in the past that I believed them, and then I found out they were all a lie. So lately I find it hard to believe people when they, like, I find it hard to believe words like I love you, for example, or you know, I'm never going to leave you, or anything like that. When people say that to me, I can't bring it, like, I just can't find it in myself to believe them, because actions, you know, speak louder than words, and actions prove to me more than words do that someone actually wants me or loves me or cares about me, you know. So yeah. Question 7 is the last question. Do looks matter when in love or in a relationship? To a certain degree. I mean, you have to be kind of physically attracted to someone, you know, especially in a relation. Well, not like in a relationship you do. So, and yeah, it's just in a relationship. So yeah. So yeah, you do have to be physically attracted to them in a way. I mean, it's definitely not the most important thing. You know, personality is key. Like, that's how you actually fall in love with someone. You fall in love with the way they act, or the things they do, or just who they are. Like, just if they're really funny, like for me, example, funny, like people. I can't even talk. Someone who is funny is definitely an important thing. If someone can make me laugh, I feel, you know, I automatically like them more. So. And just someone who is sweet, really, and kind, and just, you know, who shows that they care. Like, they all mean a lot to me. And looks definitely don't matter to me as much as personality. Like, they don't really matter to me much at all, and really, to be honest. Like, I've had crushes on loads of people who other people wouldn't find attractive at all, but I like them for their personality, and that just made me have a crush or whatever. But in a relationship, I suppose you do have to be physically attracted to them or sexually attracted to them in a way, but it's not the most important thing. Like, it really isn't. And I can't stand it when people get into relationships with someone just because they find the other person attractive. Like, seriously, how can anyone be that shallow? Like, they could be a horrible person. Why would you want to be with someone just because they're good looking? Like, it's just a load of bullshit. Like, I hate shallow people. It just, oh, it drives me mad. You know, like, you're never gonna fall in love with someone because of their looks. You can fancy them, you can whatever, but you're never gonna be in love with them just for their looks. They need to have a personality that you find attractive, and they need to, like, show you, like, in actions and words and stuff, that you mean something to them, and that, you know, they love you. So looks, like, it's not, you know, you can't be in love with someone just for their looks. So I'm not gonna say they don't matter at all, because okay, as I said, I suppose they kind of do in a relationship, but definitely not the most important thing, like, at all. And everyone finds different things attractive, so if your friend gets with someone who they find attractive and you don't, like, don't say it to them. Like, everyone finds different things attractive about someone, and I hate when people are like, oh my god, he's disgusting looking, why would you get with him, or whatever. Like, fuck off. I mean, I've never had someone say that to me, but, like, if, like, I have seen other people say to other people, like, oh my god, he's horrible looking, why would you get with him, or whatever. Like, so mean. Why would you do that? They like them, they fancy that person, they're in love with that person, or whatever. Leave it. It's none of your business. So just because you don't find them attractive doesn't mean someone else can, whatever. So yeah, looks kind of matter, but personality is what matters the most. And yeah, so that's what I think. That was the last question. So that was actually kind of a fun tag to do. I like doing like, the hell? Sorry, never mind. I like doing tag videos rather than just rambling on about my life. So yeah, that's it for now. Hopefully make another video soon. So I'll see you. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.